Welcome, Cancer, to your March mid-month astrology overview. Each calendar month is not linked to just one zodiac sign, but two. And at the heart of each month, the sun's first location is where he's starting to reach his phase of culmination, before, ironically, then moving swiftly into another sign. I don't feel this gets enough attention. I'm going to be providing an overview each month for you, Cancer, whether it's through your ascendant, the sun, or the moon, you relate to it. And by the end of the video, you'll have a clear understanding of what you can expect for that transition in terms of money, your relationships, your energy, or work. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. So on the screen on March the 15th is your event chart. As ever, we need to be mindful of your ruler, and the moon is very close to Pluto in the 8th house. There could be a sense of intensity, but also the sun in the 9th house could be very much about freedom, adventure, and independence. So that's intriguing. If there is something you feel leveraged around, I think it is going to be on your mind, in your thoughts, Mercury, about what to do. But Mercury, Mars, and the North Node, very karmic energy, all of these, along with the sun in your sister water sign of Pisces, in the 9th house. And the themes for the 9th house can be the aforementioned freedom, independence, travel, higher education, connections with people overseas. It can also be about publishing, if that's something that you're involved with. But Mercury has been in a retrograde in that area, and that can be about contracts. It could be if you've been booking any travel, it has been disrupted, perhaps by some of the events going on in the world. But the intriguing thing is having Mars and Mercury together in a conjunction could see you more easily triggered if you feel that someone is being unfair. The 9th house is very much about higher principles. And whilst there is a part of your nature that usually likes to avoid outright confrontation, this could be making you bolder. But we also have another set of energies in the sign the sun will move to on the 20th, and that includes the steady eddy of the zodiac, Saturn, along with Neptune, Venus, and Chiron in the 10th house, very much to do with your worldly connections, your professional responsibilities, and your goals and ambitions. One other takeout from the starter chart is that Jupiter, now direct in your sign and exalted in Cancer, is in an opposition with the path of fortune in your sector of relating. If there is someone that you feel you align to in a philosophical way, or you feel you can be very much yourself, you don't have to curtail who you are, you can be very natural, there could be a very important link. And maybe the moon's conjunction with Pluto is just making you much more mindful of an energetic connection that has some kind of deep power. But if we look at the position of the sun, it is in the last decan of the sign of Pisces. It's got about another 5 days to go, and that's sub-ruled by Mars, so passion. But as the sun moves forwards, before we get to the spring equinox and the sun's move to Aries, the sun will angle in a sextile to Uranus, and that's particularly thrilling. And I feel if there is something you're being drawn towards at the moment that really gives you a sense of excitement, you're feeling passionate about it, but also instinctively the Pisces energy, you're drawn to it at a more energetic level. The energy of Uranus can be very exciting because it can push you to be open to doing something much more spontaneously, or even much more in a daring way. But let's go forwards to the spring equinox. The sun moves into the sign of Aries, and for you is right at the top of your chart. Big takeout, the position of the moon for you, very close to Venus. I think it's possible, if you have been feeling restless around your work, there's a chance for you to make a switch. And it's a switch that could work well for you. But if you're not enjoying what you're doing at the moment, I think this event chart suggests you will have the confidence to make a change, because Mars has moved forwards away from the node and Mercury, but is in a perfect trine to Jupiter. Jupiter provides some mutual receptivity, being the traditional ruler of Pisces, and Jupiter, now direct in your own sign here, can give you a lot of support and encouragement to be more daring. So if you have got a job where you feel you can't be creative, Neptune, or you're dealing with a line manager who watches your every move, micromanages what you're doing, and with the moon meeting Neptune for the sun, meeting Neptune for the first time in 150 years in Aries, and Saturn for the first time in about 28 years, if you're not really committed to those worldly responsibilities, that's going to show up very rapidly. And what will happen, because we do have Mercury going direct on the 20th in that ninth house, in that very karmic link with Mercury, your thinking can be nimble, but very much attuned to what you may gain by doing something different. And although the sun has moved into Aries by now, which of course is the sign of initiation, courage, taking action, but particularly for you around your worldly situation, that link to Uranus is still there. It's disassociate, but it's still there, and it's been building up over the last 3 or 4 days. So to summarize from an overall perspective, Cancer, for you, if you're someone who wants to be more in touch with your passion and soul purpose, I feel that this phase of the year, from the 15th through to the 20th, is really encouraging you to perhaps step outside your comfort zone. Now, I know that's easy to say, but much harder to do if we've got responsibilities like paying the mortgage, looking out for the kids, and so forth. But I think if you are really feeling that your passion is pulverized, and particularly at work, the sun's arrival in Aries and its journey through the sign of Aries is really going to be quite provocative to you, to not be penned in by fear. Yet initially, I think the chances are you will feel a bit of a conflict between wanting to live in the moment, Mars in that great link to Jupiter, Sun in that great link to Uranus, but also because of Saturn being very conscious that it's easier said than done. So you may go through a period of transition where you weigh up all the pros and cons, but particularly around your work, before making a binding decision. Now, as far as your physical health and energy is concerned, I think it can be very strong. You know, Mars will be very much supportive of you being more active, a bit more rugged, getting out and about more where you possibly can. If you do enjoy swimming, it may seem like a very obvious thing to say, Mars in Pisces, but that could be something that really gives you a lot of satisfaction. So getting away, even if it's for a few days, a few hours, can be something that can be very rejuvenating. Professionally, I think you could be reaching a high point if you're doing something you enjoy, but I think you could also be reaching a point where a change may be necessary if you're not. When it comes to your financial situation, that's governed by the 2nd and 8th houses. If you recall, the first chart had the moon conjunct Pluto in the 8th house. Shared finances could be a bit complex, therefore. By the time we get to the 20th, Saturn and Pluto are actually very strongly aligned. So if you are working very systematically and you're happy with what you're doing, your sense of security could actually build up. If you've yet to watch your Jupiter Direct video, please click on that link. If you've yet to watch your Venus in Aries, please click on that link for that video. You can sign up for your daily free horoscope at my website. Please see the link below. It gets fired to your device each morning. It's a great opportunity to have that celestial pit stop before the day really gets going. And also, if you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please see my testimonials below. And also, if you'd like to order your personal horoscopes, you can get 50% off by applying Astro 26 or Draco 26 at the checkout, depending on if you want Natal or Draconic. And those charts are great value, very accurate, and totally unique for the person they're produced for. Thank you so much. All the best and goodbye.